Hey, thanks for tuning into this video. This is just a short description at the beginning to kind of explain what's going on here. Hope you enjoy the mediocre gameplay in the background. This is a sort of online board game that I'm working on. Likely, if you're viewing this, you're a player in it. And this is an archiving of the streams that everything that happened. And if you're interested in joining the streams, you can follow the link in the description to the Twitch stream, or I suppose you can I'll probably end up streaming in YouTube eventually here as well. And kind of check things out, hang out with people, talk about the game, maybe join in for another one. So yeah, enjoy the archive. So, to paraphrase, after we went dark, doing orders now is final. Moving on. I'll explain everything next time we stream this. I'm so done with OBS right now.
Okay, so we are doing the orders from the Eluka tribes. First, we have an expenditure order.
Yep.
S6 gold Rokurui. So they are sabotaging that unit, spending 6 gold. Do you also want to like tally off 6 gold from them spent?
Yeah. Six.
And then they are advancing from Upland Woods to Rokurui. So clearly their plan here is to sabotage the unit in the city to force it to this independent unit in the city to force it to disband, and then send in their army to take the city. Next, they have an advance from Hojo's Hill to the Misty Lowlands.
Okay.
And then they have an advance from the Raining Sea to Ponce Island.
Going back to Pawn.
Back to visit Pawn at the island.
Is it all?
No, they also want to hire 2 advisors. A logistics expert and a wilderness steward.
Okay, that's going to require me to do this, I think. Or no, it will require me to go and turn on in-game. I don't think I have it properly loaded in, but that was a follow. Oh, there it is. Oh no, it was loaded incorrectly. Fantastic. It actually properly played it. We're having so many technical difficulties right now. I'm just glad it's working. Hi, From. We're doing orders, and we're going to be getting to yours shortly here. Actually, if you're like actually here, then that means that I can. My chat isn't actually properly displaying either, so I need to like load back in. Don't tell your boss. There we go. Okay, so now it should be working. I can actually see the chat properly. It's actually updating. Kate, what was it? Yes. Logistics expert and
a logistics expert and a wilderness steward.
Oh, I have to write that one. Oh no. There we go.
Hot board game, right off the presses.
Panels.
So this is Jagger's singular GIMP file containing at least 3 different games.
Yes. Where else? Well, these are all play tests of the same game, so they're going to have some overlap. If I were doing separate games with different maps, I would do different stuff. But if it's like all actively a part of like the same primordial soup, then yeah.
WARD
Ward. There we go.
with an A.
Oop. Like that.
No, with an A. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
go and grab this color. These were acquired.
Mr. Native English speaker over here.
I have a fucking disability, you insensitive. Terrible. This seems to be in the orders layer. Look at that. Making fun of me in front of the new followers. Horrible. Okay, that's it for Elika. Next is... Let's go with the other tribe. Let's go with Gonai.
The Gonai tribe. Both the Eluka and the Gonai tribe have, for the record, given very well formatted orders, including ping and all.
Amugi supremacy.
So, if anything, this is proving to us that the Umugi are indeed quite bureaucratic. Quite bureaucratically gifted. So, orders. F, Bay of Streers to Rakushi Island. I'm assuming this is fleet from Bay of Streams moving to Rakushi Island.
Okay.
It says F.
He's using diplomacy orders. He's using all diplomacy orders. So F means fleet. He's not doing like the way Machiavelli wants to do it.
Yes.
Which is like fine. I understand that if he says army goes here to here or F goes here to here, this means fleet or army.
Yes. A, flooded forest to logging camp.
Like so.
And then we have A, Riverfolk Heartland to Sergudir.
Very good year. By the way, Kate, don't look at the stream. The stream has lag. So like, if like, just if I say like, let's go, and I did it, and because it's right now it's like synced, but that can change.
Okay. So, and then we have our first spell. We have an Empower spell on the fleet in Bay of Streams.
No, you fool! It's the operation order. Okay. So for future reference, if anyone's listening, that's actually a player. If you do a financial action, it happens first. There's a sequence, right? So this guy was sabotaged using money and doesn't exist anymore. Then the army moves. Then after all the units move, then I count spells, right? So what happens is that this fleet is moving, and then it's getting empowered, right? So if you want to empower the fleet, you target this place where they're going to be, right? Because rituals are mostly for the next turn, not really the current one. They're for the next one. So technically speaking, the spell misfires because it's complete. He actually has the spells to make it happen, and then it pops off, and then it targets nothing. So in this situation, he gets refunded the spells since the ritual didn't have a target. I think I'll run it like that for now, but I might make it so that in the future, if it doesn't have a target, the ritual still goes through, but it like fails, right? You still like consume.
This is up to you how you choose to advocate the situation.
Yeah, but like, just for future reference, I'm gonna make it clear that like if you're gonna use a spell, it needs a target where it's going to be.
Is there any way to like you will mark this that a spell was attempted and failed, or?
I don't know how to do that actually, because normally when you draw an arrow and it fails, you do like this. You do like this, and you make a big old X on it. Or if it was like a thing that like let's say you're trying to help out this, like that, and this unit actually went like this way or whatever, you would do like a dotted line like this, like that, to show that like there was an order, but like it ordered nothing. It was failed. I don't know how, because it goes through.
How do you draw spells on the map?
You know what I was gonna do? I was gonna use a new color actually. I was gonna add another color over here. This. Go up here on the palette. We're gonna go like this.
Magenta.
Yeah. Color magic.
I thought that was Octarine.
What's Octarine?
Octarine, that's the color of magic according to Terra Pratchett.
Really?
Sir Terra Pratchett.
You always have to add the Sir because he actually is a knight.
That was a knight. The late Sir Terra Pratchett.
What's he late for?
Life.
Terry Pratchett was a legend.
Terry Pratchett was a legend. He was also an incredibly sweet old man. Dearly missed. But yes.
It was Empower.
Octarine is the titular color of magic of his first Discworld novel.
Isn't that like a color that doesn't exist?
Yes.
It's like simultaneously like cyan and brown or something.
8 is the magical number on Discworld. So you know how like traditionally the rainbow has 7 colors?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the 8th color, Octarine, the color of magic, which is only visible to the magically gifted, like wizards and witches.
Interesting. Either way, an Empower order went through, it failed. What I'm gonna do is probably like put like a little red X next to it.
I think it was described as like it was described in a way that like doesn't make sense, like a purplish yellow green or something like that.
Makes sense. How much is this? This is like a 3 5, right? So this is 5, 3, 8. Yeah, so minus 8.
Okay.
Speaking of Octa.
So that's 8 stability, both max and current. And then the Gunai tribes have also hired some advisors.
Who?
They want. Are you ready?
Yep.
They want a conduit whisperer and a logistics expert.
I definitely have to write Conduit Whisper because I made that like 4 days ago.
By the way, hi to both Emerald and Europe, who's in the chat as well.
They're typing? Is it not updating? Oh my good lord. See, I can see it's updating here. Here, I see you guys. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties here. It's a rough time. Will the turn be profitable? Yeah.
Jagger, I would extremely highly recommend getting a separate monitor.
I don't have one. I don't have money. You should donate.
So,
I just put Whisper.
So, what I will recommend you, Jagger, is what I did, which is I asked my dad if there were any like spare monitors laying around. I recommend you ask your father-in-law if there's any spare monitor, like if he has or has access to any spare monitors that you can have. Because like right now I have like a digital monitor, but my second monitor was like it was a flat screen, but it was like analog. It didn't have HDMI. It had like a VGA connection.
Nice.
But that's fine. If your goal is just to like get some expanded desktop space to put like your chat applications and stuff on it, then you don't need a fancy good monitor.
I'll take
Any old stuff works.
I'll take a 5,000 euro donation. Give me that big dono. I would have to go fight a legal battle for it, but yeah.
I'll check if I still have that monitor to pass on to you if you want.
The ultimate hand-me-down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I refresh here, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's too many technical difficulties right now for me to really mess with it. We'll just get through it as best we can, and then I'll.
Are you ready for next one? Then I also a logistics expert.
Of course.
Very popular.
Yeah. It got heavily nerfed this game, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Well, people are buying it because they were like very good in the previous playtest. So we'll see whether they turn out to be not as useful in this game.
An important thing is that it improves the upkeep. It makes the upkeep cheaper. But in this game, you still have to buy units now. So,
what you need to remember is that like people will make decisions based on what used to be good.
That's true. It's still probably very good. I might have to delete it, regardless. But the thing is that. Yeah, I'll probably still have to end up deleting it, but it has been made significantly worse because when you go to raise a unit, you still have to pay for 3. The logistics expert doesn't help with that cost in any way. It now only makes the upkeep cheaper. In addition to that, the logistics expert also is more intense on the stability here.
So yeah, it says the orders specify 3 and 5 points.
There we go. There's my 8. 8s
That's a big 8.
8s are annoying to draw in pixel art without making them huge. Anyways, there we go.
Okay. That's correct. So that's the end of their orders.
Very good. Let's do Siva.
Siva. Okay. So Siva did not like do an order ping, and they not submit written orders, but they submitted a picture. So
we take pictures.
So first, initially, I just need to read through here. Okay. Okay, the first part of their orders are not collected in one post. So I need to read through. So first, they wish to employ a rural developer.
Okay. That's easy to go get. Our developer, the rural variety.
The rural developer, yes.
I remember that being the only one, right?
Yep. Also known as the farm investor.
He loves farms.
He sees a farm and says, yes, yes, that could be bigger. So the orders I have on this picture here is Yinghan. Is that how you pronounce that?
Jing. J.
Jing'an.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I don't get the tones right. They aren't marked.
We're not going to get the tones right regardless. We're not actually changing.
Okay. They advance to Twisted Swamp.
Okay.
We've got ourselves a skirmish here.
So, in the previous turn, there was a bit of a kerfuffle about this whole river crossing situation, and like this unit moved in, and it looks like that there might be a little bit of a conflict here. It's kind of escalated past the what it initially was. It kind of depends. We'll see what the rest of the orders look like.
Well, I can also specify what they are proposing. Yeah, I'll get to that, but yeah.
Thank you for the follow. I gotta blow up the picture. Okay, who is it?
That looks like Emerald just followed.
Ola followed me? She hadn't been following me this entire time. Is this why I have like 2 followers? All the people that I hang out with don't. My own wife won't even follow me. What is happening?
I mean, you had 8 when we started the stream, so
I got 10 now. Thank you. That's actually I think our goal for today. Fantastic.
go to affiliates.
Yeah. We're halfway to affiliate now.
Oh, if Ola unfollowed and followed by accident, then I don't know if it's done. But anyway, keep going. So, River Bend advances to Xiaoping.
Oof. Riverbend shopping. Okay. This is funky. So the situation that might occur, given these orders, if this yellow one moves over here, we'll actually successfully defend all of this. But we shall see.
Okay.
Anything else for movement?
No. So originally they had ordered Meteor Coast to support Jinghan.
Mm-hmm.
But to support hold it.
This is a hold now.
But that unit is moving. So in the new picture that was posted, the Meteor Coast unit doesn't do anything.
Okay. It's a hold. Okay.
Yes. It's a hold. Who are we doing next?
Siwa. No, not the cults.
The cult? The cult has not submitted any orders.
NMR? Okay, next.
Let me just look through here to just see. Okay. Giving them the benefit of the doubt, just look through.
They might have submitted like a line in the middle of a paragraph somewhere saying my guys do X.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, so say, let's see. My country is clear. Our anchors fleet. So okay, I'll start to the map. Okay, no. Okay, so they So what you so Meteor Base supports my only city. That was what they submitted for their previous turn. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They have not submitted anything this turn. They have not. There's no messages since that.
Yes, the plot thickens.
So that's an NMR.
Okay, meow.
Meow. Okay. Meow has not done an at order post, but they do seem to have clear orders written out.
Yeah.
No advisors that I can see in any of their posts, but they have here the fleets in Mingshu, correct?
Mingzhu. This is Z.
Mingshu.
There you
go. They wrote Ainshu, but Mingshu fleet moves to Saryang. Then Miao outskirts will support Riverbend to Xiaoping.
Ooh.
Yes, Europe, that is an M. A's have holes in them.
It's an A. So to help you out, by the way, what I'm gonna do is I'm working on where is it? This. Where is it? Big labels. I'm working on going through real quick and giving everything bigger names. I can't make them the names actually in the game bigger without it like being in the way and obstructing like the rest of the stuff. But I had to make everything smaller to compensate with the pixels. So the next time I do a map, I'll make sure there's more pixels, there's more map, so that I can use bigger fonts that are more clear. But I'll be doing a simplified version that looks kind of like this, and going through and like letting people work with that, so that there's more clarity. So I'll like post that when it's done, separate. But that's a Ming.
We have one more set, or we have one more order from the Meow merchants. Meow, right? Yeah. Meow merchants.
Okay.
Favorite fishery to Rustling Woods.
That one makes sense. Okay. Well, the context of everything that's going on, yeah. That sounds about right.
It does appear that the Siva and the Meow are going to war against the Duon.
Poor guys. Poor guys.
So this is the Duon's northern front. We will see what happens to the southern fronts.
Well, yeah. Well, let's look logically. Let's go to the Duon and see if they actually succeed.
Well, not north and rather they're what do you call the center again?
Orbound.
The Orbound front.
So
this is what happens on the Orbound fronts, and we will see what happens on the Rimboard fronts later.
So to go to here, I have a little compass rose hanging out here. So we have Orbound going this way, Rimward this way, Sinwise that way, and Wittershin that way, or Witter, right? And because the world is flat, it's a big disc. Terry Pratchett, hi. We're glazing Terry Pratchett today, and the best way to kind of remember is that Orbound, or O, is like down the coast because it's basically like over here. The center is like over here, and then Rimward is like this way.
Do you want to move on to the Duon next?
I want to see if they survive any of this. Because they're getting royally messed up. Yeah, Duon.
So the Duon's last orders were on the 28th. So these are the previous turn orders, right? Shuru Farms advance to Pongyang, Xiaoping to Twisted Swamps, Rolling Hills to Shuru Farms. These were the last turn orders, right?
Let me go look at my phone, actually.
Let's...
A little annoying to go check this stuff on my phone, but I can do it. So we can go to their orders channel, and it is Duon Dynasty.
Shuru Farms to Pangyao, Xiaoping to Twisted Swamps, and Rolling Hills to Shuru Farms. Yes, that was their last submission.
This is an NMR.
It's an NMR, except their last turn submission also mentioned they wanted to hire a civic planner.
Yes.
So, do you want to execute that this turn?
I did tell the guy that I would consider it next turn, so he gets the civic planner, and the rest of it's just an NMR. Okay.
Okay.
What are you saying?
Europe believes that you should check for NMRs in advance.
I mean, I have been. But, like, since I turned on the stream, I'm not getting pinged for this. So if someone submits orders while I'm streaming, I won't know unless I actually check. So I didn't see him post earlier, but he did get like a warning earlier today with like me to saying that, hey, I'm going to be doing orders soon. And I also pinged him in his thread earlier as well. And I assumed that I would see from him at some point. And no, I'm not. I can check more often, maybe. But he also didn't ask for an extension, so I don't know. Game profits a lot from there being extensions to avoid MRs. It does. Yeah, like I'm willing to give extensions, but you also kind of get 72 hours for turns, and if you don't ask for one, it's not the end of the world, but like it is one of those situations where it's like,
I will say, the player in question has like sent messages during those 72 hours.
He's been doing press, yeah. He could have submitted orders. Yeah, that's kind of goofy. But let me double check how much the civil planner, because I don't think it's 2. No, it is 2 because born bureaucrats. I accidentally opened up Clash of Clans.
What I'm expecting. So what I'm expecting, lore-wise, Jagger, is what likely will happen here is that presumably like the Siva, after this like disastrous situation, probably the Siva or the Miao or both will probably like get like a marriage alliance or something and get like
so for the
diplomatically
record,
annexed.
So for the record, everything on screen right now for the dynasty is all colony. All of it. The actual country is underneath all of these panels over here. Right? So if you guys mog this, it's not the entire dynasty dying. It's their entire territorial expansion being wiped out through an ill-conceived conquest, right? And I'll be able to interpret that in a lot of different ways. But yeah, unless he was able to predict that this was going to happen, there's no way for him to defend. Basically, it would have required him to like support move the unit in the Twisted Swamp in, or spend money to mess with units. Like he could have spent like a sabotage on the Miao outskirts unit to destroy it, then had this unit move in to bounce both, and then like moved out. But like that, like we're talking about like genius level intellect here. We're talking about someone cracked out of their mind.
I do think it makes a lot of sense for like the central Duan government seeing this disastrous campaign on the frontiers and going like, let's negotiate something, and then potentially have like a marriage alliance and like a diplomatic annexation. Yeah.
What happens in between this? This is a prequel game for the record. So I was trying to explain this earlier over voice, and the mics were dead. So I'm going to explain it now in kind of a grand sweeping strokes to illustrate the story. So this is a prequel game that's a playtest to a rule system I'm making for online correspondence games, a la Diplomacy and such, which is, like a map game. After all, there's a map, isn't there? But the narrative that's being constructed is meant to emulate really early dynasties of China and its surrounding kingdoms, like around the whole span of things. The Duan dynasty is the first major dynasty of this kind of fantasy equivalent of China, and in the premise of the very first game was that the dynasty was dead. Like they actually went entirely extinct and the country collapsed into civil war. Since this is a prequel game, this game precedes that event, and the Duan dynasty is at the air quotes height of its power. Not really, it's in the middle of collapsing and falling apart, and their campaign into this land here is a part of a military operation to try and supplement its dying kingdom. Right, raid, loot, bring in a bunch of money, stem the tides of like internal conflict by making people rich. Now, the Duan dynasty did not collapse because of like internal pressure or anything like that. Their palace actually burned down, and they all died inside of the fire. So it like prematurely exploded. But like if time continued as it was, it would have likely failed miserably. If the
Right,
Duan,
but didn't the you're saying like, oh, the tragic accident, but didn't the palace burn down because of rebels in the capital?
no,
Did the rebels in the capital come after the palace burned down?
yes, it came afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like basically what ended up happening was that when the royal family burned down, the city was then seized by its denizens, who then formed a militant group that was then put down by the Duan loyalists who came in and cleaned up. And then eventually they found the last remaining member of the dynasty, and that fell through. Now there's a new dynasty in charge. We haven't gotten that far yet because we have to double back on the story on what happens to the first dynasty of the Wan people. But it is unlikely that the reason that it is unlikely that the Duan dynasty was at the height of its power at a massively successful campaign, according to how this game is going. It's likely that Duan's dynasty was on its way out and had a death stroke dealt to it right before the like slow pittering out that dynasties tend to go through.
Yeah, it very much seems like a situation where the you know it was just like it just needed like the empire was unstable. It was struggling for several like reasons, and then it only takes like one. When you're balancing on a tread, it only takes one good show to knock you over.
Exactly. And yeah. So this kind of sucks for them. It's not the end of the world. You guys still have to siege out the city and everything, but it's probably, depending on how this goes, a Siwa country might actually own Xiaoping, and would be the first country, will be the first nation out of all of these nations to actually have a third city.
We'll see how it goes.
Or a second city. Well, actually, because of the Elika expense here of spending money to destroy Mokumuji, they actually will cap it instantly. Like they're just gonna capture this. If they,
However,
yeah.
so go on.
No, you go.
Yeah, I was just saying. However, in the heartland, in the center of the Kurai Plains, we have a couple more nations to deal with.
Yes, we have the Pact of Arrows.
The Pact of Arrows.
So, to kind of introduce these guys, the Pact of Arrows is a loose ensemble of all of their neighbors. So, the Siwa are like a group of kind of industrious types on the lower half of a river. They're kind of like a Cantonese group, maybe like more of like a Manchu group. They're the least defined, but they fancy themselves imperial in a way. They kind of like emulate their imperial neighbors. The Amugi are like a Tungusic group that hang along the coast. They have like lots of like kind of otter and beaver like qualities to them. They kind of borrow a bit from like first world nations, and they
First world nations
or New World First Nations people. So like the Iroquois would be an example, or like the I forget what the tribes are, but like around the like island, what Victoria Island, that area on like the British Columbia,
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. Thank you, Vancouver Island on like the west coast of Canada. It's kind of like that a lot. And then we have like a kind of like a stand-in for the Uyghurs, or like the Turkic Muslim population that came through. They weren't Muslim at the time of this, but like the Turkic peoples that came in through the western deserts, northwest of China.
Kublai Khan.
Yeah, or the Mongols, the Khanates. So the Pact of Arrows is kind of like a loose ensemble of sort of associated groups of all those types of neighbors. And you can see that the feathers of the arrows actually correspond to which group occupies those territories. If I turn off the palettes, you're a little more obvious to see some of them. Yeah. So we shall see what they get up to. I have a very strong feeling what I'm about to see.
Well, first, they're hiring a logistics expert.
Right? Classic.
Mm-hmm.
These desperate souls are trying very hard to fight for themselves. They're in the middle, which is not a very fun place to be for a lot of people. They get the logistics expert as a big old fat -5 to them.
What you want to do is you want to do the judo move, where you basically like take someone coming at you and you deflect them and send them flying past you, hitting the guy behind you.
Yeah, something like that.
So, are you ready for their orders?
Mm-hmm.
Their military orders?
Yep.
Okay. Sparse Forest moves to Kuhai.
Okay. Seems like we have a certain number of people getting along over here. See if it keeps up.
Yeah. The Amugi seems to have been getting along. Then the Mandu Junes will support hold Rongyao.
Okay, so the independent is getting supported like
Yes.
this. Okay.
The independent unit is getting support held. And then the Arid Hills is advancing to Lonely Oasis.
A cute little poke. Okay.
Yep.
Now, what do the outsiders get up to?
So obviously I can't talk about the details, but I will say the press between those two has been very interesting.
The movements definitely tell the story of a weird relationship. But okay, so
And I believe these. Yeah.
so this move right here is very likely to get the red eggs. The issue is that like if Green Nation is trying to move in and capture this, right? They're gonna move in. Also, I realized there's a camel behind this banner. Turn it off. There's a camel there, but you can't see it. He's hiding.
Hidden camel.
The hidden camel.
Maybe you should move the banner a little.
I think I should probably move the camel. The banner needs to be near the structure. Let me just.
Okay.
Let me go to the.
So yeah, speaking of this, speaking of the year on outsiders, I think
There we go.
they are the last. They are the last orders we need to resolve. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. So, the Khan War Refuge.
Okay.
Forward. They are advancing to the Arid Hills.
This is getting complicated.
Hmm.
All right. Kate.
Yeah.
Hit me with it. What do these two do?
These two who?
Yeah, the Lonely
Other
Oasis
goods?
and the Rocky Fields. Yeah. What do they do?
So
What happens next? Actually, no. It's getting support held.
Lonely Oasis advances to Rongyao, supported by Rocky Fields. So at this point, I feel it is very important for us to like just double check the national traits of these factions to see if any of that comes into play. if anyone has national traits that come into play here.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because I believe what happens is that all of these orders, all of these movements fail.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all fail, actually.
But it's worth checking. It's worth checking to make sure nobody has any national traits that would affect this. This whole daisy chain of movements.
Our conga line. Nation builders.
Oh, what, daisy chain wasn't good enough for you?
Daisy chain's also good, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it fails. Is that every order? Do they want advisors or anything like that?
Let's see. They said. Okay. Let me just check. Let me just scroll up and have a look at the rest. Okay. He hasn't mentioned any advisors.
Okay, that's 0 advisors then. Double checking. Did Mia want advisors?
He asked, like, we appointed advisors during the income phase as well. He asked that on the 30th, and both of us responded that advisors happen like between the second and third turn. So like
Basically, now. I remember basically telling him like
you say
like,
you will
tomorrow.
advisor appointment will occur the next time you submit orders.
Yeah. So then none. He
Yeah.
takes none.
Yeah. I realize now that my phrasing might have been confusing. But yeah.
Yeah, because the way he might have thought is like there's an actual like micro phase, like retreats or something in between.
Yeah.
Which technically speaking,
but you said advisor appointment will occur the next time you submit orders.
Yeah, technically speaking, I will take advisor requests going forward, like until like the next turn starts.
If people were confused and thought that like it was an extra separate phase afterwards, you know,
because it's not technically speaking, in a way, it is written that it is a separate thing that happens at the beginning of the third turn, which is it shouldn't be like that because we're on a correspondence game. So I need to limit how many times I call for orders. So it is written that way because of how Machiavelli book is structured, and it shouldn't be written that way long term. But that's why I made a ping about it when I called for orders last time. That make sure you get your advisors in. So if
the Meow did not submit any advisors either.
Yeah. So if anyone wants advisors, during this like next 24-hour retreat period before,
we'll assume honesty. If people say sorry, I didn't realize, I thought like we submitted them afterwards, you know. But yeah, I believe that's the end of orders. So yeah, again, let's see. Neither Pact of Arrows or the Year-End Outsiders have any nation traits that affect military orders.
Yeah, Pact of Arrows has do or die, but they didn't use it. If you see a military order that they do that costs stability, like if they say advance to this and they have a stability tacked on for how much they're spending, that is their do or die happening.
Yeah. And the Yeren's military trait is just that they get to retreat.
This fails. I think it's correct.
I believe so.
Looks like there's a bit of a miscommunication over here on this front, because there was some help going this way. But there's not help here going this way. That or is a stab. Betrayal.
Yeah. I mean, this could be like, this could be, well,
High treason.
there is multiple reasons. There are multiple things that could have happened here. One is this could just be the deal that they made. You know.
Yeah.
Secondly, it could they could just have been like, this could just have been a deal that they made. Secondly, it could be like a little stab. Three, it could be like some sort of like confusion or like submission, like submission mistake.
It'd be a weird deal to make because, like, I'm not sure why the Mia would
It would
out of their way to help without like something in exchange. Unless it's like next turn. Unless it's like next turn help me out with something.
It could be like a deal for like future services or something like that. It could also, but then this fleet trying to attack this town suggests that most likely there was some sort of, plan here that failed for some reason. Whether malicious or not.
Either way, some things that I'm expecting to see in the future is that there might be a you're an outsider Duan Dynasty tag team. Seems like that might be a natural process of how things break out here. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on how fucked up this like red-blue alliance here gets.
It also depends entirely on what press between those players look like. That is something that we
so
we as in like the world doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know?
So I actually know what the players are thinking and doing most of the time because they either make notes in their private orders channels or they tell me, or I can see the press and I can see what their intentions are and I can deduce what they actually are going through because I can cross-reference what they're saying with other players. That said, any commentary that I make here is based on map state. So if I look at the map state, I'm like, that looks odd. So, like, this looks odd. That looks like a miscommunication or something else is going on.
Exactly.
This play right here, smart. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that fleet tried to take that city suggests that there is a good chance there was a deal there that didn't go through for some reason. Again, very malicious or not. That's something you can't know without reading the press channels.
Yeah.
It seems to me like all of the like Amugi and Amugi adjacent factions seems to be like getting along and trusting each other here.
Yeah.
They aren't. They don't seem to really be competing with each other. And seems fairly like safe leaving the backs open to each other. Whereas, like the Siva seems to be going to war against the Duan, and it is very unclear what is going on down between the Pact and the Yeren, because if you recall, last turn the Yeren support held that city, didn't they?
Yeah.
When the Duan tried to advance into it.
It's messy. So, like this whole situation between the Pact of the Arrows and the Yeren is like I'm not sure how this is breaking down, honestly.
I will say Duan seems to be like getting his ass kicked by the Siva and the Meow working together. However, it's really interesting to see whether like this like potential like failed deal between the Meow and Siva will like ruin their ability to cooperate. Also, the trio of the Pact, Yeren, and Duan is really interesting to see what will happen here, because the Pact, the Duan, and the Yeren seem, honestly, this seems to be a very volatile situation, where like I could see any two of them, like whichever two of them manage to come to like an agreement to take out the third one will likely succeed in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow,
It's like
yellow, black,
without,
and
like,
green will have to. It's
like whatever
won by press, really.
you must exactly. You must wonder what the press between these players look like, because I could. This kind of seems to be some sort of like weird three-way war, which if two of them can come to an agreement, could
spell the end of the third. Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see.
What is the blue in the center there? Oh,
Blue?
There's a SWAT? Okay.
Yeah, that was a SWAT. This, you see? Okay.
I believe it's time to post this map.
It is.
Will you then immediately go and like post like the updated version, or?
Okay. I did my due diligence. When I click here, it actually takes me right to the page I want to be.
By the way, we also have a question in one of the order channels asking, is the price to raise a unit 3?
You can go tell them yes. You can hear all three letters being put. YES enter. Done. Yes. It's 3. And the logistics expert does not make that cheaper. What we do is we do 24 10 season of the full moon. We put ourselves
foul moon.
We put ourselves a full moon here. Real cute.
No, it's a full moon.
Orders.
Full moon.
What I initially was planning on doing, Kate, was actually doing the financial orders first, then the military, and then the spells, like as like independent pages, right? And posting 1, 2, 3 back to back, right? Rather than all on one page. But I think probably we can do it as one page for now. But it might not be super clear that it's happening in a certain order.
Yeah.
And that's that. I was planning actually doing some drawing and stuff as well as a part of this stream, because I can kind of go through and do things like people's banners and stuff.
Well, question: will you now be like carrying out movement?
Yeah.
And changing up banners.
Yeah, so that's the next part. I actually haven't finished setting this part up to make it as smooth as possible either, so we're going to have to do some tricky stuff. What we do is we actually go to the specific layer, and what I would like to do is have every unit be on its own independent layer, so it's easy to move around. But instead I have the box select, and then, like, for example, like move it around like this, which is not ideal. It's slightly more time consuming, but we'll fix it later.
Okay. So this whole daisy chain here, none of them are moving.
That's right. This unit is Delito.
Which unit? Oh.
And then what we can do now is we can go to the banner page. We're going to copy this bever. Kurva bever. Bobber. Bever.
Bever.
Bever. Bever. There we go.
Bever.
This unit is unobstructed. It goes here.
Off to Pons Island.
It can't go for long. It always needs to return back home. And then we have that one move. This one moves unobstructed.
So, question. Do they immediately take the logging camp, or do they need to siege?
No, they're going to need a siege.
So they take the province, but not the settlement.
Yeah.
The site.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that ruling for the game. that if you do not specifically the capturing and then instantly getting the structure is entirely a part of the whole like bribing the commander of an independent. Right, that's it.
Yeah.
There is not a further component to that of like how like any other form of acquisition is going to require the siege order. The
I
way
think it makes sense that, you know, to capture a site, it's like you need to carry the siege order because it's kind of like moving into the city, you know,
Yeah.
except you don't actually need to move into it. But if you only need to make one siege order, but if there's a unit garrison in there, then you need to siege twice.
Yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense. Here's my proposal for independent units. What if the independent unit is a garrison and you siege it, you gain control of the city, but if it's not a garrison, then you don't gain control of it?
Wait, what?
If an independent unit is garrisoned, then you control of the site is garrisoned that if you bribe it.
Yeah.
But if it's not garrisoned, then you don't get control of the site.
I think that would be fair, but also like kind of treading on the territory of being a little too complicated. So like
Really, because I feel like that's the simpler idea. That like basically like because that means like there's no special rules for it. It's just a matter of when you bribe it, you get control over whatever province it is in, which is like the province, and if it's garrison, then you get control of the site. You know.
you're probably right.
But I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah,
That
I'm
just
gonna.
makes
I'm
most sense.
eventually have to gonna delete the the conduit in the water here and put something on the island. I think
Huh.
I could make like a algae puddle or something. Like you know those glowing like bioluminescent like waves that come in sometimes on certain places. They're kind of cool.
You
It's
could
like
also make it like have like just a top of the little conduit sticking up of the water, and then have like glowing waves coming off it.
that could be sick actually. They're kind of cool.
Whereas for Ponce Island, I feel like that one could just have the conduit be on it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. I'd have to make it really small, but yeah, I could do it.
Oh, right, because you need to be able to place a unit on it.
Yeah. That's why the little flag's here with a little beaver.
Yeah. So, you place a flag there. The beaver flag is there.
Beavis flag.
The pink flag is there. Where are we going next?
We're going over to civilized lands. Oops.
Yes, this unit moves up and captures the province, but not the city of Xiaoping.
Yeah. Here we go.
I noticed you haven't like added my suggestion of adding like a tiny little bridge. And
I'm going to. Just been busy.
Okay.
You want to know what I was working on most recently, artwork-wise?
What?
I was working on the desert over here. I was working on like the land, so you can see I was like tweaking the sand to see how to use it, and I was like trying to play around with the beach.
Yeah.
And
cool.
over here, I was doing playing around with the palette. So I'm kind of trying to make like a good brown for the map because the brown I'm using for units is too intense, too extreme. So
Yeah.
you can see these hills are a lot more like neutral and faded than these ones. I think they look better this way, but like I think I need to make something a bit more.
Yeah.
Doesn't pull attention too much. Much like how these mountains aren't too extreme. Yeah, I think it's it.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. I think I would want to do more drawing past this point, kind of go on like people's units and stuff, but I am so hungry. I'm really frustrated and annoyed with a lot of technical difficulties from today, so I kind of want to take a break. But good show from a lot of people. I'm not gonna continue drawing for today. I'm just gonna pack it up for now. I will make sure I'll actually include a little banner here, just so we're very clear that he doesn't actually control all of it yet.
I see there's already like press popping off responding to
Don't clarify what it is. Don't clarify what they're responding to. I'll check it out in a minute.
No, just responding to the map being posted. That's what all I was going to say. There's already
Okay.
press popping off responding to the map that has been posted.
Wild stuff. I gotta repalette these panels. I think that they're the levels of the pact of arrows I really like, actually. I kind of want to bring like this level of punch to the others because some of them feel very faded.
The contrast.
Yeah, the contrast is very nice.
Well, you've picked fairly muted shades for a lot of them.
I want them to be muted, but like the contrast should be very high. So like I think like the white needs to be made.
You can't get it like the higher contrast without making them darker.
Well, actually, no. Okay,
like
without making the white brighter, because like look at this. You see?
The white is not white.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll play around with it. We'll see. The whites in some of these colors are not very bright compared to this one.
I would have just picked like brighter colors. By brighter, I mean more saturated colors. Sorry.
Yeah, Kathy was hounding me about that. She was like, "It needs to be brighter," and I'm sitting here going, "But it looks, it looks so ugly if I do that." No.
A player is asking if subjugation vassalization mechanic is in this playtest.
No, it was that mechanic was intended for use this time around, but it proved a little bit too tricky to do in the time, like the due date I gave myself. I want to make sure that I stick to schedule, so I don't want to fuss around with mechanics for too terribly long before. I'll just constantly rework things before actually getting any data. But the next playtest and/or the official game will include that mechanic. For vassalization to function in this game, it'll have to be like a pure negotiation system of some kind. If people are willing, and you can write this to them, by the way, if they can petition it, I will add it in the middle of the game. I'll be like, if you bring it up in like the general chat or some other thing, I'll write this myself too when I don't have to stream private channels. That I will go and talk to people and ask if they want to add it in the middle of the game as like a hot rule. I don't think that one would be too disruptive to just kind of like throw in, as opposed to like
straight off the press.
Yeah, exactly. New gameplay.
By the way, Drago, are you interested in trying whale?
Whale? Yes, I would like to eat whale. That seems like fun. The more endangered the whale, the better.
We do not eat endangered whales here.
Wow.
We no, we do not hunt or eat endangered animals at all. Yeah, the only whale we eat in Norway is the common minke whale, which is not only least concern, but the hunting quota is set at half the yearly population increase. And we don't even fill up the hunting quota.
Very nice.
So it is extremely sustainable.
That's nice.
In fact, the minke whale eat the same food that we do. They eat fish. So
the competition.
Their competition.
There we go. I think the highest quality of writing would be like a little bit nebulous, but like it doesn't really matter if like say you're in character a lot or if you're like really good at doing contributions to the lore, like you're really good at writing a story, because you can make really good contributions to these two things and your like writing is shit. You break sentences by hitting enter all the fucking time. You do some goofy stuff. You like constantly format your things. Your orders are really messy. I think that if you are well spoken and well written, and you can put good sentences together very well, I think you get an award. And I'm unironically canonizing the whole joke thing of like, if you have well written orders, you get the points. If I like the way your orders look, they look good. If you're a good foil and you're good at causing problems, this is a award you'll get a lot. Like the whole Siwa Meow thing, they got big points for this one. We'll host an award ceremony on, what day is it? Tuesday? So we'll host an award ceremony. Friday I'm working. So we will do Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, so Wednesday, Thursday, the turn will go. And then Friday, I'll do the turn, but it'll be kind of late in the evening. I think. I'll have to double check. But I'm also working Saturday. So I might have to give a baseline extension to myself so that I can actually go to bed after getting back from work. Or I might not stream. It kind of depends. I might just do that turn without streaming. That's what I feel like. But that's it for today. Thank you all for coming out. And that is it. Good night, everyone.
Bye bye.